The Scratch game that you see here was made with only one sprite. In a 2D game, you have different sprites for every player, enemy, and collectible. But in this video, I'll show you how I used only one sprite to make a full game. This block is the only block that's going to make this entire challenge possible. I'm going to be overusing this block so much. For the game, I was thinking of taking Flappy Bird and basically flipping it vertically. Let me first draw out the background. Fill that in. And then it's going to be more like a mobile game. So I need the walls. One on the other side. So I have the sky, the bricks. Now I need the player. So I'm gonna go with a cube. Yeah, I'm going with the default platformer cube. Not with the eye though. I'm not drawing the eye. I hate that eye. It's so annoying. Okay, and then I'm gonna do a little rounded corners hack. Okay, I'm gonna make a point here, 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 and here, here, here. And then delete. And oh, that is not.
Oh my god, what is that? What is that?
That is so ugly. What have I created? That is not a rounded that is not a rounded square. Okay, let me just use a regular square. This square is gonna be dodging back and forth, and it's gonna be dodging item. Wait, am I dumb? I just made two sprites. What was I thinking? I already broke the challenge. Okay, we'll fix this. We'll fix this. You guys were probably screaming at me since the beginning. Let me just delete this. I'm so dumb. What was I thinking? Okay, let's name this wall, and let me make that cube again. This is gonna be harder than I expected. I was trying to think of a simple game, but no. Okay, let me make a block for create sprites. Alright, so switch costume to costume name and create clone of myself. This is gonna be the biggest block when I start as a clone because they're gonna be like 20 clones. Pause. I thought there'd be around 20 clones too. But then the clone counter just started rising and it got to eventually around 80 clones. That's basically 80 sprites, and that's nowhere near the original 20 that I thought there would be. If costume name equals player, if costume name equals wall, what I'm doing here is differentiating between the different clones so I can run different code on each clone. Okay, it's working. Now it may not look like much, but I successfully did two clones, one for the player and one for the wall. Alright, so the player is going to switch between walls. A variable for the sprite only, set player side to -1, set x to player side times -130. We need to switch between the walls. Okay, with just all of these blocks, I got this little thing to work. This is not necessary. I'm just doing this for the flash. You know, just the cool little effect. The hard part is to get the enemies to spawn. Let's see, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. So let me just make an enemy sprite. It's gonna be just a simple spike. Let me make it red, curved edge. I am not gonna lie, that is a beautiful looking spike. Out of all the spikes I've ever drawn. Alright, so now, forever, wait 1 second, create clone enemy. So the enemy is gonna be falling on the right side or the left side of the screen. Actually, I can just copy this code and switch it with enemy side. Genius. I thought this was gonna be hard. This is actually kind of easy. Change y by -10. Oh, and I need to take out that thing. If y is less than -180, delete this clone. What is that thing? What? Oh, that's the main sprite. I need to hide that. Okay, it's working. This is easier than I expected. I thought this would take an hour to do. This is coming together pretty well. The only thing I thought I couldn't do was detect if the player was touching the spike, because clones in Scratch can't detect if they're touching each other. There's just if touching mouse pointer and edge, because I only have one sprite. Touching color. I could have used the touching color block. I mean, it's not like the touching color block was going to be accurate anyways, since there could be a lot of other colors similar to the spike that could trigger it. But while editing, I'm surprised that mainly it's now that I'm realizing that I could have used the touching color block the entire time and saved myself an hour of useless coding. But it's fine. Let me just see. I have an idea, a little bit of an idea. Let me make a player y variable, set player y to y position, and then I need to detect if the spike is within the player y. So it detects if the spike is below the player. I need to detect if enemy side equals player side. But the only thing is that it destroys the clone. Okay, it's kind of working. Let me add like 50 to it. Wait, what? Hold on. Let me just put a bunch of if blocks. Enemy side equals player side. Okay, and then I need to do an opposite one also. Okay, I think it's working. There's no way I got it to work. Okay, I did not think this would work. Okay, so now I got the spike detection. Okay, now we have a kind of actual game. I'm gonna make a game over screen, of course. And I might just polish this game up and make it an actual mobile game. That'd be cool. You died, actually. So, broadcast game over. When I receive game over, repeat 1, delete this clone, create clone, game over. When I start as a clone, costume name equals game over, go to front, and I think that's it. Wait, but it's still creating clones. Okay, hold on. I need a stop other scripts in the sprite block. Stop other scripts in this sprite. Yes. There's no way I got it to work so fast. I did not think it would work, okay? Now, since it only took me a little bit of time to make that, next, I'm gonna see if I can make some coins. Because it took way too fast to make the game. Let me just do a circle, and let me make it yellow. Obviously, coins are always yellow, never any other color. Okay, let me make it have an outline, and then we write like a $sign on it. Oh, where's the $sign? There it goes. Why did I have so much trouble finding the $sign? All right, and then if pick random 1 to 10 equals 1, so we have a 1 in 10 chance of spawning a coin. If pick random 1 to 10 equals 1, create clone coin. Okay, and then I just copy the code. Yes, this is working beautifully. If costume name equals coin, I just reuse this code. I don't need the point and direction block. Oh, let me just do, oh, I need a score first. Wait, why did I just show the loudness block? All right, change score by 10. And then delete this clone. I think this should work. Coin, please spawn. Yes. Okay, the coin spawns. All right, let's see. Okay. What? I need to change the hitbox on that. Why is it killing me? How is it killing me? I was barely touching that. What? I'm not even touching it. How is it doing that? Something is going terribly wrong here. Okay, let's try this again. There's no way I did it this fast. This feels too easy. I feel like I cheated somehow, even though I didn't. What? Okay, I just died. I didn't even touch that. Replay that. What is going on? I don't know what is happening. That is so weird. Okay, you know what? It's a feature. It's not a bug. I'm leaving it in the game. And if someone dies, it's their fault. Okay, let me just make this more polished. I'm probably gonna spend an hour making it more polished. Here's a time. Of coding. Here is the final game. That's the name I came up with. I think it sounds pretty cool. So you can see I've organized all of the code. We have the numbers, clone positioning for the numbers. Wait. I don't know what that does. We have the parallax generation, the enemy spike generation, the game loop. Look how many variables I have. It's actually insane. There's a whole list of variables. We have when I start as a clone, coins, enemy clones, the walls, the game over. I like Andy because you could create a frame and organize the blocks. It's very useful. And then you just move them around. But yeah, one sprite only, except for the backdrop. The backdrop doesn't count. I need that for the thumbnail. Am I bad? I'm so bad. Why am I dying so fast? Why is it so hard? I am actually terrible. Make sure to check out my limited edition Jackson Academy hoodie. I will see you in another video. Okay, I think that was 180. So if anyone can beat my high score of 180, then you've done it. Congratulations.